to the Church Doctor Show, where we're prescribing biblical solutions just for you. No matter if it's a problem with your marriage and family, money, ministry, or mental, emotional, and spiritual health, God has the answer. Let the church say amen. And now your host, Chaplain Yolanda Walker.
Hello, this is the Church Doctor Show, and welcome. We're so happy that you have tuned in. I am Pastor Yolanda Walker, and this is Pastor Cornelius Hill, and we are so happy to bring you greetings all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Well, we are in a wonderful edifice. Tell us more about where we are.
You are at the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue, North Nashville, Tennessee, 37208, in the heart of the eclectic North Nashville, a church that's been here for 75 years. So I'm the fourth pastor.
Wow.
Here, and this building is about 20 years old, this edifice.
Amen, amen. So, Pastor Hill and I, we joke a lot. So when you are hearing the broadcast, just know we have fun, we cut up, but we're also serious at times. Amen. And so we want you to also visit the Yolanda and Cornelius Show, our podcast. We're also on the Daily Gospel Network International. Amen. And you can visit us on YouTube.
Yes. Amen.
And our Facebook page, the Yolanda and Cornelius Show. So we always joke and talk about the story, how we met. We met at my cousin's funeral.
You don't want to tell us where all the podcast places are while they're fresh on my mind.
Well, okay. And that's how he does me, y'all. Okay, so go ahead and tell them.
The Yolanda and Cornelius Show are on several Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Amazon Audible, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and the one from India that I never learned how to pronounce, Hayo Savin.
Amen. So that was kind of like his Christmas speech for this year. You know how all the little kids, they do their little Easter speeches, and we're so happy. So, amen. He had to get that out. I'm sorry that I forgot to put that in there, but
don't forget YouTube.
Thank you.
YouTube.
And I mentioned YouTube.
And now here, the Church Doctor Show.
And the Church Doctor Show. Amen. So, we met at my cousin's funeral. My cousin, her daughter's a member here, and I came here and I said, "Oh my God, why we got services at Primitive?" I said, "I don't think they believe in female preachers." And y'all, I was like, "Oh my God," I was dreading to come inside this church, and I'm gonna be honest, I was thinking it was probably, some of your older churches, historical churches, some of them, they're in need of repairs and stuff. I didn't even realize that this building existed over here.
That's interesting.
To the funeral. Yeah, I didn't even realize that this building even existed. And so, y'all, I got here, and then Pastor Hill, he was very cordial, and we went to the office and started praying, and this pastor started speaking and telling us, "Oh, wait a minute, this can't be Primitive Baptist." So I tell you, I misjudged you in the Primitive Baptist Church. Amen. And so I have to apologize. Amen. I thank God for Pastor Hill, because he has been such an inspiration, so encouraging in my life. Amen. And we're very grateful for how he ministers to so many families. I know you've done so many funerals through COVID, but I am grateful for all that him and the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, what they do in this community. And speaking of this community, share with this audience a little bit about this community, this zip code, and what it's found within this community, nationally, that we are known in this community for the incarceration, the high incarceration, etc. So go ahead.
Well, the statistics are changing daily, but 3728 zip code, is the most highly incarcerated zip code in America at the time as it relates to poverty, one-parent household income. It's a food desert. It's still part of the eclectic North Nashville, but some things have changed. We're being regentrified. But in this particular zip code, there is still hope, and there's life, and there's light, and people can come to several churches in North Nashville because you actually grew up in one.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a place that people would call Nazareth, but can anything good come out of Nazareth?
Amen, amen. And you know what? Just in reflecting, it's been a couple of years now? The tornado came through.
Right. The tornado, it was interesting. Some gentleman from the neighborhood said it literally skipped our church, just jumped over it. Like it decided to play hopscotch and jumped over our church and devastated so many other places. And that catapulted us into another realm of service. And we'll talk about it every day. We were out here feeding and helping and charging cell phones and going up and down the block, making sure people had blankets and things. And a generator was brought to us from a man all the way from Alabama because he had seen the industrious work we were doing on Facebook, and it kept getting shared. So our light lit up literally in the moment of tragedy and trouble.
I remember, and I can't remember the exact words, but I remember you had ministered a sermon with all the devastation that happened all around, and yet Ephesian really was not damaged. And I wish I could remember the exact words, but basically, although we weren't possibly totally where we need to be, but God knows that by his grace, we're coming in here, we're praying, and we're doing the best that we can, that he was merciful to make sure that this church did not get destroyed. And it's amazing because how God allowed this church to be such a light, to me, even a brighter light in the community, because there were several churches that got destroyed.
Right. And some of those churches have found a new niche as it relates to ministry, and we're grateful for them that have found a niche in this particular place where people can get hope, and we can talk about that on another show as well.
Yes.
And bring in those pastors. But I'm just grateful to be here on the Church Doctor Show.
Yes.
On Kingdom Perspective TV. I'm just grateful.
Yes. We are grateful to be here. And I want you real quick, share with us, I thought it was interesting how you go about with Christian education, picking out the material each year that you will use within your congregation. So tell us more about that.
Well, currently we have the mantra here that we drive instruction through literacy. We do that through the Bible, of course, but we've chosen books to accompany the text of the Bible. And currently we're studying the Emotional Healthy Church, where we talk about a strategy that changes lives. And I'm grateful for that book. And we, like I said, on the next show, we can encourage every pastor, every leader, every student of the Bible seriously to learn to study the Bible, and just study, period. Not reading it is wonderful, but studying it is so much better.
Amen.